members of the venerable clergy, honorable members of Parliament and my colleagues, members of the National Council of Professionals, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I'm happy to be here, facilitating, promoting, supporting this unique initiative, which entails encouraging professionals to get involved in the policy-making processes, the decision-making processes, providing policy inputs, getting proactively involved in formulating the future national agenda and policy program of our country. I would like to take this opportunity to encourage more professionals to join us, more professionals to play a proactive role in working with SJB and SJB Alliance to ensure that we have a sound policy platform on which to build upon to make our motherland prosperous. Friends, we are as a country and as countrymen and women at a crossroads in our democratic political history. We are at the cusp of a turning point, a pivotal occasion in our forward march. Friends, right now, our country is faced with an economic debacle. True to its words, we are living an economic Armageddon. Apocalypse is at our doorstep. The main formulators of this cataclysmic disaster is the Rajapaksa administration. Ad hoc decision-making, knee-jerk reactions to national challenges, reactionary, unscientific methodologies have led this country to a disastrous situation. Friends, we all have to unite, mobilize our energies and capacities, and make a strong determination to extricate our motherland from this quagmire. It really is a maze. We are all lost in it. However, hope is alive. Truly we can overcome. This disaster took place primarily because of the refusal of the country leadership, the Rajapaksa presidency, to accept authentic, expert policy advice. Hero worshipping was prioritized. Pragmatic, progressive policy proposals and policy inputs were rejected without consideration. We in the SJB propose two major restructuring processes to rejuvenate, rebuild, reconstruct, and reinvent our motherland. First and foremost, let us work on the economic restructuring process. We as a country cannot succeed with isolationism. We have to be truly internationalist. We have to ensure that we achieve a comparative advantage over and above our competitors. If and when we do so, we will succeed and we will be prosperous. I'm very happy to note that we have an economic troika, so to speak, comprising of Honorable Messrs. Harsha De Silva, Kabir Hashim, Eran Wickramaratne, and a support staff backed up by expert, specialist, professional advice from yourselves. And we have mandated this group to come up with progressive, pragmatic, implementable policy prescriptions to overcome the major challenges that we face as a country. So in terms of the major economic issues right now, we've always proclaimed that we need to follow a policy of orderly default, achieving debt standstills and debt moratorium, try to gain bridge financing from multilaterals and bilaterals, try to persuade our partners, and especially the international monetary institutions, to provide us with extended fund facilities and rapid financing facilities. We need to negotiate with our ISBNs. It is an immediate priority to focus on restructuring loss-making state-owned enterprises and transform them into profitable ones. We need to have an out-of-the-box approach to promote foreign direct investment. We must encourage free trade, which has in the international economic history promoted economic prosperity and growth. We have to achieve exchange rate stabilization. We have to improve upon our ease of doing businesses. We have to promote information technology-based digital revolution to achieve and fast-track our growth objectives and our growth goals. Simply put, we must move forward through a social democratic approach. An approach which gives credence to social market economic principles. Growth which is equitable. Growth and prosperity which is inclusive. We must ensure that with every effort that we take to restructure the economy, that the silent majority of our country are given their proper place, that they are given a hearing, that any shocks to the system is absorbed in a manner undetrimental to those communities. We have to look after our farmers, our fishermen, our laborers, the daily waged, self-employed, poorest of the poor, urban, rural poor, middle class, and the rest who have been badly impacted by the mishandling of the economy of the present administration. Friends, we have to be innovative. We cannot solve our problems through inside-the-box thinking. We have to think beyond our traditional parochial thinking, traditional frameworks. New thinking is the order of the day. I do distinctly remember how Japan, in the immediate aftermath of World War II, navigated itself in a meticulous manner, commencing under the Yoshida administration, while obtaining the security through the American nuclear umbrella. Large-scale investments took place within the country to promote exports, to promote trade, to promote manufacturing. The Ministry of Industry and Trade, MITI as it was known, was the external arm which promoted Japanese prosperity. Friends, we need to embark on a new, modern, path-breaking industrialization program. A program which promotes new technology, artificial intelligence, robotics, new age thinking. These should not be proclamations and declarations that are confined to political speeches, nor orations on stages. We must and we have to walk the talk. We must be able to implement what we speak. Friends, in addition to economic restructuring, we have to move forth with political restructuring. We have to promote accountability in government, responsibility in government. We have to reject and negate crony capitalism. In this context, we are proud to acclaim that SJB and SJB Alliance have already proposed and tabled the complete and total abolition of the executive presidency. Together with that, we have rejected the draconian 20th Amendment, and we have ensured the incorporation of good governance institutions, such as the independent commissions and the Constitutional Council. We are mindful that national security of our country has to be protected and enhanced. Therefore, we have constitutionalized the institution of the National Security Council. We are well aware of the Easter Sunday terrorist attack. And let me take this opportunity to make an unequivocal statement. We shall embark in initiating an authentic, transparent, open investigation devoid of various biases, and we will ensure that through a clean process, that all those who are behind this dastardly act will be brought before the law and will be brought to book. We have also moved forward in being an innovative party. We have innovated a new institution within our Constitution, a Council of State, an institution which provides the so-called leaders of the country who have been elected by the people of the country to continue a consistent and persistent dialogue with all sectors of society. This Council of State will act as a forum for continued consistent consultation with all pressure groups in society, so that the rulers, the governors of the country are well aware of the heartbeat of the people of our motherland. We have also brought in restrictions and curbs to make it a disincentive for political defections across the floor of the House. In addition to the major reforms expounded by the constitutional amendment that we have tabled, we also envisage more reforms to be included in the constitution-making process. We hope to establish a strong anti-corruption machinery. This will be a standalone institution with adequate autonomy, independence, an institution that is protected as being a clause of the entrenched chapters of the Sri Lankan Constitution. So these provisions will not be subjected to change whenever new governments come into being. The entrenched clauses would mean that changes will have to go through an approval process of 2/3 of members in Parliament and a national referendum. So we shall make sure that the anti-corruption machinery are strong, vibrant, independent, devoid of political and maybe other elitist interference. These institutions will have legal authority and autonomy to carry on with the process of catching thieves. Past experience has shown running after and catching thieves is definitely not a job for the politicians, because at the end of the day, they themselves become protectors of thieves. With that bad experience, we will ensure that corruption eradication would be a national priority, and we will achieve the greatest heights in being the best performers in the international anti-corruption indices. In addition, we hope to incorporate the economic and social rights of the citizens of our country, their religious rights, their cultural rights. We will fight racism. We will fight discrimination. And we will ensure that hate speech does not become existent in our country. Friends, these are the major ingredients of a modern Sri Lanka, a modernized Sri Lanka. Today, friends, we see winds of change. Winds of change that have hugged the coastline of Sri Lanka. Winds of change that have absorbed the landmass of Sri Lanka. Winds of change that have been championed by the youth, by the Z group, by civil society, non-political champions of freedom and democracy. And we welcome those winds of change. We will support that change. We will facilitate that change. We will champion those changes and ensure that democracy is ultimately victorious in our motherland. We shall not betray the call of the champions of change. We will not let them down. We will not resort to expedient temporary political arrangements, which will certainly provide us with the perks and privileges of presidency, prime ministerships, cabinet portfolios, and others. I can assure you, SJB and SJB Alliance will not betray the outcry of the people. The outcry of the people is for the Rajapaksa presidency to go home. The outcry of the people is for the Rajapaksa family to go home. The outcry of the people is to eradicate corruption. The outcry of the people is to repatriate the lost dollars, the lost rupees, the lost euros, the lost pounds, the lost foreign currency. We have to regain our motherland. Please disregard the various idiosyncratic orations of a few. That is not the voice of the majority. We will not be lured by privilege and position and sacrifice the interests of our motherland. Once again, we will promote these winds of change. We will support change. We will facilitate change. And we will be fearless in doing so. Friends, professionals, experts, generalists alike, join hands with us. Let us embark on a new journey, a journey of hope, a journey of promoting the aspirations of 22 million people, a journey of achievement, a journey of progress, and a journey of achieving prosperity to all. Jaya Veva, Sri Lanka.